worst bit.
Why?
Because it is. Hello and good evening. Welcome to The Haunted Isle, an actual play podcast of the RPG Vaesen. Vaesen's a horror role-playing game based in mythic Britain and Ireland, this version, rather than the mythic North. I am Ali, Ghost of Sunny Online, and I'm joined by...
JStation64, hello.
Hello and welcome. Thanks for playing, Jay.
Thank you for having me back. I enjoyed Nicholas's first adventure off to Eileen Moor, the Isle of Eileen Moor.
Now he's back.
Back to civilization.
We're in London. I was very tempted when you were saying about wanting to be back in civilization to send you on another...
Immediately on
another goose chase. But no, we've had this one banked for a while, so we'll see how we go. So tell us a little bit about Nicholas. Where might he be spending his afternoon?
If he has returned from Eileen Moor, then he is probably trying to find the most kind of culturally, what he feels to be culturally superior activity and cozy. So it's probably either a very fancy like gentleman's club, or maybe even a trip to the theatre.
Oh, nice. The theatre, not the music hall, the theatre.
Exactly. And yeah, basically he's indulging himself in the wanton delights of the city.
What a hero.
And regaling anyone with anyone who listened about how terrible it was up north. Huge waves, constant rain. Not even bothered about the monster, it was just the standard of living up there.
Couldn't understand a word anyone said.
Exactly.
Excellent. So where will he be this evening?
We can say a gentleman's club.
Yeah. Gentleman's club.
Gentleman's club, yeah. In one of the a leather wingback chair with a.
I say like a traditional gentleman's club. Not
yeah,
like
yeah.
We'd say a modern gentleman's.
Oh
club.
no, not like a gentleman's club.
I'm only winding it. Not that sort of club, darling.
I mean, I'd say Nicholas does frequent those, but at the moment, he's more after wrapping himself in the trappings of high culture, as he sees it.
Such a classy gentleman. So, knowing this, maybe your friends would know where to find you?
Yeah.
Of a rainy London evening.
I'll be at my club.
You'll be at your club.
Yeah.
When a note arrives with a message from a messenger boy.
Mm-hmm. Give him a coin. Thank you, boy.
It's a very short note, but it's from Timothy.
Okay. Timothy is my friend who works at the British Museum.
Yes.
Okay. Who gave me my nice coat and also my lighter, right?
Yeah.
When I went up to Eileen Moor.
Yeah, so he works at the British Museum, but he works... Well, I say he works near the British Museum as part of the Linnean Society, and he is interested in British folklore. And in these good old colonial times, that means he's not massively successful as a historian, but he does all right in his way.
In his field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's written to you asking if you'll come to his rooms near the museum, because he urgently needs your help.
Urgently?
Urgently.
That sounds very exciting. He will probably finish his brandy. And then leisurely make his way out of the... Fold the little note neatly and pop it in his top pocket and finish slipping his brandy for maybe 2 or 3 minutes.
Slurp.
Yeah, he's not going to get up and storm out of the building, but maybe ruminate like, Timothy needs urgent help. Glad he's come to me for some support. I'm sure I can help him, whilst just staying in his leather wingback chair. Ruminating on how he'll go and help his good friend and how grateful his friend will be.
I would like to go on the record as saying that Timothy is worth 10 of Nicholas. But that's fine.
And then, yeah, we'll make it. So Timothy works with the Linnaean Society or for the Linnaean Society?
Yeah.
Or...
Works with them. So there's the society, which
Yeah.
is the there's the official society, which is run out of Ray's house. I'm probably massively butchering Vaesen law, but
I mean, it's your world, so
it's
okay.
alright.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
just make it up. That's run out of Ray's house, so that's very much like the traditional society in
Okay.
Scandinavia, but maybe a little bit more classist and political,
Okay.
being English, British,
Yeah.
such as it is. The Linnaean Society is based more closely on the work of Carl Linnaeus, who was a
Yes.
biologist and a traveller and an explorer, and really not afraid to get his hands dirty when it comes to exploring the secret and hidden world of the Vaesen. Whereas those in the traditional main branch of the society are maybe a little more interested in how it may be used and exploited for political gain
Okay.
in this version of London.
That makes sense.
They are not mutually exclusive, and there's a lot of overlap between the two, but Timothy very much sits on the
Linnaean side?
Linnaean side.
Doesn't strike me as the kind of person who's in it for more the political gain. Nicholas does, though. So it feels like this is definitely the club he'd want to join.
Do they want him though?
Well, he's clearly invaluable. Like,
Is he?
he saved the north of the country. Yes, he will get the man to get his coat and stand there arms wide whilst the man puts his coat on for him, wrap his scarf around, flip it over his shoulder and make his way out into London, heading towards Timothy's, I guess.
Really want him to get hit by a carriage, right? But that's okay. That's what we want. So you'll be heading towards Timothy's. You won't get all the way there. Timothy will actually meet you, who's coming to find you,
Oh, okay.
because he's in a hurry and
Oh.
he needs your help.
We'll see him coming and like, Timothy, my boy, hello. I was just coming to see you. I got your note, and begin to like slowly get it out of his pocket to show him.
And he looks kind of and he says, "I'm the same age as you."
Yes, my boy. How can I help you? What can Nicholas do for you today?
Oh, for God's sake. Okay, come, walk with me, Nick. I'm in a hurry.
And maybe you'll be slightly surprised at Timothy's less than adoring tone, but we'll follow along.
Did you tell him thank you for the cloak that you're currently wearing and the light that you currently have?
He said thank you at the time when he picked it up.
Not like you used it to save your own life or anything. It's fine.
Well, he did very intently plan on regaling him with his story of heroics. So I feel like it would have come up that
Okay.
he would have been, and the lighter, I know, lighting the seaweed.
Yeah. Yes, it was very impressive. Come on. Move. So he'll sort of hustle you through Bloomsbury to a small square. Very lovely, kind of gated community, very posh, very nice. The kind of place where you might, take a house in town if you didn't want to stay in the country. But very, very, very nice. And he'll sort of stop you and he'll be like, before we go in, I should probably tell you why I need your help.
I mean, yes, that would make sense.
And he'll kind of like,
Is it another woman, Timothy? Have you dallied? Which house is hers?
you've epically misunderstood Timothy, but that's fine. And he'll just look at you like you're completely insane. No, it's not me, it's my friend.
Oh yes.
Her name is Gertie.
Oh no, it's all adding up.
You just listen to me, please, for once. She's a historian. We've worked together in the past. Very knowledgeable. She wanted a bit more practical exposure, maybe, to... What are you laughing at?
I feel like Nicholas this whole time will be pulling faces like, oh, practical experience. Just any excuse, he'll be...
So he'll say, Gertie is an eccentric. She generally means well, but she's very opinionated. And honestly, it sounded like this situation required your expertise, such as it is.
Do I know what he means by that?
No. You might not even hear that last bit. It might be, he might have been like, your expertise. Such as it is.
I mean, does he know what he means by your expertise? Because Nicholas will read it as hero for hire. Is that what Timothy
are
means?
you asking what Timothy really means by that?
Yeah.
Make me maybe an empathy check.
Is empathy observation?
I think so. Have I just made that up?
No, that was empathy. This is straight empathy.
Yeah.
3 dice. No successes.
Yeah, you have no idea.
Cool.
But you can. But if you look a little bit closer, you can sort of see like he's straightening his jacket and he's sort of like steeling himself for this conversation. And you sort of known Timothy a bit, and your impression of him, like, of course he needs a hero. He, a little on the quiet side, not very domineering. He just needs somebody who's got a bit more oomph.
Exactly.
So of course he'd come to Nicholas.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And that's exactly what he's there for. So are you gonna follow him in?
Is he heading in?
Yes.
Cool. Then yeah, I don't think. He might ask. He'll grab Timothy's shoulder perhaps before if he steps away. Like, should I be armed for this? Is there a husband involved?
No, she's whatever the female equivalent of a confirmed bachelor is.
Oh, well. Let's proceed then. After you.
Come on. So he'll sort of nod at the doorman. Very nice building. Service department's very fancy.
Service department.
So he'll go straight up. So he obviously knows where he's going, has been here before. The doors are kind of open, or kind of opens really quickly on the knock. And Timothy will kind of lead the way in and introduce you to Gertie, who is, I want to say, about 63.
Is she in an apartment in the building? Is she meet me in the lobby? Like,
No, he'll go straight up to her apartment and
Okay.
she'll open the door for him.
Gertie, 63.
And she'll be kind of like, outrageous. It's just outrageous. Egregious, Timothy. Yes, Gertie. Do you want to tell?
I like her, Timothy. Hello, Gertie. My name's Nicholas.
Oh, hello. Is this a friend of yours, Timothy?
I'll handle this, Timothy. Yes, my name is Nicholas. Oh, I've got a second name.
But the confidence with which you've approached that is all Nicholas, which is fantastic.
I don't know if you've got it down in my notes or not. What, do you remember his second name?
No.
It was something to do. It was very close to a sweet or something, right? So yes, I'll handle this, Timothy. Hello, Gertie. Nicholas Fondat here, experienced hero and resolver of problems, and all about good town man. How can I be of service to you?
You can go over the road and you can tell that thieving swine that I want my bottle back.
Lost your bottle.
I've not lost it. It was taken.
You don't sound like you've lost your bottle. Just a little joke there. Please do sit in and tell me all about this this apparent cad across the road.
Fine. Just move something and sit down. And
Come on, Boba Gertie.
it bodes well for our future, to be honest. I feel like there's a lot of Gertie in my future. So she'll kind of, you know, draw you and Timothy in. Tim's obviously got kind of his own chair that he's used to going to. The house, as beautiful as it is from the outside and as kind of well structured as it is, it's the house of, I'd say a hoarder, a collector of particular interest.
An enthusiastic collector.
An enthusiastic collector. So there's plates on the walls, there's vases and kind of like earthenware jugs kind of arranged around on kind of plinths. Lots of like kind of tartan and knitted fabrics and clay items and all this kind of shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly a woman of particular interests, and you can sort of see how she would come into Timothy's orbit.
Right. Does it look similar in any way to Timothy's like office space or anything? Or
Yeah, imagine like if Timothy is like early in his hoarding journey, he's had the time and the money to indulge it.
Right. Okay. When she was saying across the road, across the way, was there an apartment opposite to hers, or does she mean in the building across the street?
So there's a building across the street.
Okay, cool. Just in case it was like literally the door opposite. I wanted to double check. But yeah, we'll clear away some, maybe reluctantly, do the manual labour of clearing a chair free. Tut's looking around where to put this little pile of books. Mm-hmm. Give it a brush, sit down.
So as you do, maybe as your make me a perception check.
Cool. We've got vigilance or observation. I think vigilance is looking, whereas observation is people's habits.
Observation, we'll say.
Okay.
Or whatever's highest.
Or what? Well, one of them's looking around a space, and the other one's observing a person's behaviour.
Okay, observing a person.
Observing a person, cool. So that is 5. Got 3 for empathy and 2 for observation. 2 successes. Very nice.
So as you're kind of sitting and like, you know, rearranging this little pile of things, you hear a little noise from somewhere underneath the couch.
Can I see anything under there?
No.
Okay. We'll probably.
Or are you just looking down at your feet?
Oh, the thing that I'm sitting on.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it would be okay. Probably try and nudge Timothy. Do you hear that?
And he's not entirely sure. He can maybe hear Gertie muttering, "Oh, dreadful man," clanking about as she goes to get the tea made.
There's something squeaking on this chair, and I don't imagine a person who lives the lifestyle that he does would be flexible enough to bend over and look under the chair. So you might have to stand up and like maybe angle the chair to see if you can see underneath it.
So I'd say that he possibly won't. He probably isn't going to be moving stuff around because he's also in his evening gear.
Oh, okay.
But Tim will kind of scoot forward and lean over and be like, Georgie. And a little dog will poke his nose in.
Okie dokie.
And he'll sort of very hesitantly edge out when he sees Tim, and then we'll go and cower behind Tim's legs rather than behind yours.
Oh. Hello, little Georgie. I don't have any biscuits for you, I'm afraid. Sorry for sitting on you.
And Georgie will sort of look at you with big, sad, scared eyes.
What kind of dog is it?
I want to say a King Charles Spaniel.
King? That's a very specific pull.
It is, isn't it?
King Charles Spaniel. I don't know how Nicholas feels about small dogs in houses. It's probably quite a big part of culture, right? Of like the high society is people having these little creatures and stuff. So you probably will be very polite to the dog. And if Gertie is around, we'll try and be, you know, like, oh, lovely little hound you have there.
Yes, he's my pride and joy. Just I don't know what I'd do without him, and that horrible man. He's like, look at him shaking. Timothy, be careful he doesn't wee on you. Just he's very scared. Since the break-in, he's just been hiding.
A break-in?
Awful. Yes.
Oh, well, that's very severe.
It is rather serious. That's why I called Timothy and he called you.
I probably won't be able to resist being like mumbling that you had a break-in and you called Timothy. Yes, well, I am here to help you resolve whatever this situation is. I mean, I'm not a constable, as you might know. I don't have the hat for one. But I can help you in the investigatory matter, and that is my area of expertise.
Good, because I didn't want to involve the police, you understand. This is a reputable building, I am a reputable woman.
Oh, I can see that quite clearly. You wouldn't want to get anything unsavoury involved.
I think things are unsavoury enough. She'll sort of glare out the window.
So tell me about this unpleasant chap across the way and about this break-in.
Well, it started a couple of days ago. There was an auction, like Smiths and Bees.
The London Auction House, sorry.
I'm, as you can see, I'm a collector of antiquities. It's how Tim and I became acquainted.
The fine collection you have.
Thank you.
Moving something so we can put his cup of tea down.
I have been collecting a rare set of bottles. There's 4 of them. Well, we assume that there's 4. Trying to get a complete set together is very, very challenging. But I had almost done it and went to bid at the auction, but there was somebody bidding against me. And they won. So naturally I took it. Well,
oh, I'm on board with Gertie.
No. I meant to say I took it on the chin, in good grace.
Yes. As would I, Gertie, I assure you.
So I came home, disappointed, but taking solace in the fact that I still had the others. And then it wasn't enough to steal the 4th one out from under me. Had to go and take the rest of them as well. Ugh.
Other 3 bottles that you owned had been stolen.
Yes.
That's the most dreadful news. I'm sorry to hear that. No one likes to break up a collection. And you're sure it's this chap across the way?
The most heinous crime. I can't think who else would
Most heinous crime. It's so good.
Who else would conceive of such a thing? Look at him, and she goes up to stand out the window. Look.
Can you see him?
Make me I'm gonna say a vigilance check or an observation check. Probably an observation check.
Observation.
Yeah.
Cool, that's 5. No success.
So you maybe go and have a look at the window, like you may be dazzled by the glare from inside of the house, like you can't quite make anything out, but just look, there he is, and you can sort of make out a shadowy shape.
Good timing, Lily.
Good timing. But you can't tell what he's doing or if he's,
Is it literally directly opposite as well?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like it's like those it's the squares that you have in
Oh,
around
yeah,
Easton. You have
yeah,
a
yeah.
nice little bit of garden, and then you have all these houses all the way around.
Like
it.
EastEnders.
Like EastEnders.
Yeah.
I was thinking Bloomsbury, so that's fine. We'll go EastEnders if you're more comfortable with that. So she can sort of look up. So there's her row of fancy apartment buildings,
Yeah.
and then opposite there's another row of fancy apartment
Yeah.
buildings.
Cool. And the one directly opposite, there's a shadowy figure.
Yeah.
In the window. Okay.
You can't tell. They might be inspecting a bottle under a glowing light.
Right. And so, who exactly is this shadowy figure who you feel has stolen your bottles?
He is a fiend.
Is that what it says on his mailbox?
I don't. Gareth something.
Gareth something. Well, that's not no lead, is it? If his name turns out to be actually Gareth something, that'd be amazing. Of the Bloomsbury somethings. So, tell me about these bottles. Why was it anybody would? Why would anybody? Why would anyone want to steal these out from under you?
They were quite unique. They were sealed, obviously, as you can imagine. Most bottles are used for decanting or for carrying. These were made and then sealed shut. But excellent examples of British workmanship. Quite unique. And to have 4.
Is there anything that triggers in Nicholas's mind about things being sealed? Like, the thing that popped into my mind was gin. Oops.
Gin.
Not gin the drink. Gin, DJINN.
Ah. So make me a check of some description.
Would it be learning? Learning, yeah.
Learning.
Oh, he's not good at it. Oh, he's got about 6. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Ooh, 1 success. Spirited away.
So you will know that. So like the gin, they are like most bottles. Like they're designed not only for you to get things in, but to take things out again. The fact that these are sealed suggests that there's either an additional potency to keeping them sealed, or there is some other reason.
Yeah, makes sense. So they were built to be sealed.
Yes.
Sealed, are they entire glass jars, or are they jars with lids that are in some way sealed?
So they would almost melt additional clay around the edge.
Okay. So they're built as sealed, aren't they?
Yeah,
Okay.
they're made and then they're sealed forever.
And what is it that drew your attention initially to these bottles, Gertie?
They are. How can one explain a fascination?
Yes.
They are unique. They are rare. One is unusual. A set is quite remarkable.
Were there any defining features if I'm to hunt these items down for you, or I'm assuming you're asking me to do, or Timothy here has indicated? How will I know them on sight if someone were to have a large bottle collection, for example?
They were stone rather than glass.
Okay.
Clay, I suppose.
That's unexpected.
They were not. You understand, to the layperson, you might be thinking of something very elaborate. These were exquisite in their simplicity.
Interesting.
I mean, I should imagine that if you go over there and ask to see his latest acquisitions, he'd be more than happy to show you.
Is there any terminology you fine collectors of bottles might use that I can perhaps use to ingratiate myself with Gareth something?
I don't want you to charm him. I want you to deal with him. Timothy.
Sometimes a lady such as yourself, Gertie, will know. Sometimes acquiring the items you need can be simpler through charm than through force.
Gertie has never charmed anyone in her life, nor has she any interest in doing so. And you know this because you can see Timothy's eyebrow. Just give a little quirk upwards. Just like, nice try.
The break-in, I'm not to say this is a matter of them simply being misplaced, Gertie, but obviously we all misplace things from time to time. I once lost a very, very nice scarf for over 3 days. But the how do you know that they were taken? Was there signs of a break-in? Can you show me?
Let me try and remember what I had written. So the main evidence will be the lock was forced on the door.
Oh, I mean that's pretty significant.
But more than that, the second piece of evidence is Georgie's change in temperament, because he's a little dog.
Oh, the dog. Oh, yes, yeah. It wasn't quite so timid before this happened.
He has been traumatized by that man.
And you don't have any other, shall we say, rival collectors out there that might be interested?
No.
You have such a fine collection. Others don't
Well,
idolize it.
I mean, Timothy, did you break into my apartment? Shake his head. My collection is singular, occasionally sought after, and I am occasionally consulted, but there are few who would go to such extreme lengths.
Well then, perhaps I should go over and visit this George and see if I can get your collection back. Is there anything else you feel is important I should know before I head over and see him?
No. Just try not to do anything that would alert the police.
Oh.
Or if you must, do it quietly.
Furthest thing from my mind, dear Gertie. I will be back soon with an update, and if we are very lucky, your jars.
Thank you.
As we leave, can I inspect the lock?
Yeah.
And see how it has been broken. Has it been picklocked? Has it been jimmied? Has it been crowbarred?
It's been jimmied.
Jimmied.
Yes.
Is that with crowbar?
Yes.
I realise I don't actually know what that means other than just forced open, I guess. And is that her door? Not the building door?
Not the building door, no.
Cool. Can I ask the person who let me in? Had anybody been into the building unexpectedly around the time that this had happened? Did she give me a time? I'm going to give you a time frame.
She gives you a time frame, but it was sometime in the morning of the day before.
Cool.
So she'd obviously spent some time looking. Timothy had also helped her look.
Concluded quite rightly. So the morning of the day before. And ask the doorman who was let in that morning. Was there anybody from the neighbourhood let in, i.e. across the road?
So he kind of tells you no, people would only be allowed in with the aid or with somebody else from inside the building. However, they will acknowledge that it's a busy road and a busy time of day, and it might be that somebody has slipped in through the service entrance and might have gone undetected.
And probably will, in that case, before speaking to Timothy outside, just a moment, Timothy, if you don't mind. Where are the serving girls, serving boys, and whatnot? I want to go and ask the service staff if they'd seen anybody unusual around during that time.
So the doorman will kind of give you a questionable look when you ask where the serving girls are. But he'll sort of say, well, I can introduce you to the housekeeper, sir.
Yes, that would be good.
If you would be so kind as to wait out here.
Of course.
So he'll disappear and then come back with a rather harassed looking woman.
Hello, my name is Nicholas. Good morning to you. Is it morning time?
Evening-ish.
Evening. Good evening to you. Looks out the window and sees it's dark. Good evening to you.
Evening, sir.
Just a quick question. A day or so ago in the morning, a friend of mine said they heard some noises outside and were wondering whether or not there'd been anybody that you or your gallant staff might have run into during that time period. No one's in trouble, of course. Just
Not as I can recall, sir. It's a busy time and we have many fine patrons of this establishment. Usually all be wanting their breakfast. So, I mean, an ordinary milkman, ordinary baker. Can't say it saw anything.
nobody saw anybody unusual entering through the service entrance.
What? No, sir. I mean, and she'll give the doorman a little look. You say, well, I don't like to say so. That Mrs. Gertie is a bit odd, and keeps a lot of disarray in her house, considering how much work we all put in here. She has gentlemen visitors. She says they're her colleagues, but perhaps you should ask her.
No, well, you've been very, very... What was your name, sorry? Sorry.
We're gonna say Polly.
Polly, okay. Is Timothy with me while I'm asking this, while I can see the house person?
Yeah, but he's stepping a little way away.
Okay. I'm trying to determine whether his reaction when she says gentlemen visitors, does she mean Timothy? But does she mean others?
Well, you can sort of do the old, like, oh, is that guy?
Yeah. this chap?
Among others.
Among others. Interesting. Okay. Well, Polly, you've been very, very useful. Thank you very much. And you run, No, Polly's the housekeeper, right? Not one of the house staff. You run a very fine establishment here. And I do agree that Gertie's room is a state. But we'll hopefully be working towards keeping any more outbursts. What's the word I'm thinking of? It's kind of like her attitude causing trouble, essentially. There's a word that means like
Disruption.
Yeah. That's probably it. Yeah, we'll be working to keep Gertie's disruptions to a minimum, at least for the time being.
Much obliged, sir.
And yeah, with that, we'll go and perhaps say thank you to Polly and head over to go and see Timothy outside, I guess.
You done with the staff, are you?
Who's asking that?
Timothy.
Oh, right, sorry. I thought it just like left. I'm sure I said goodbye. Just walk away.
No, that was Timothy, because you were complaining about coming to help him, and you basically implied that he's carrying on an affair with a 63-year-old woman,
Yeah.
and then stood chatting up the housemaid, the housekeeper.
Yes. Interesting case you brought me in on. I don't quite see how this pertains particularly to the line of work that you or I are in, Timothy, if you catch my drift. Other than, I guess, jobs for friends.
Well, didn't you tell me that you was a private detective in that place where you came from, Scandinavia?
I mean, that's a rather crude term for what I did, but scope of the work that we do now, as he's part of the society, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah. The scope of the work we do now is obviously much more important than simple missing cutlery or whatnot. What do we know about these? Are these jars anything you recognise? Have you seen them before, Timmy?
I had seen one of them when I was visiting previously. I'm not sure. I never inspected them too closely. I feel that they may... I'm not often invited to Rose House, you know. But there was something about them that reminded me of something I heard that they kept there once. And Gertie is eccentric, but she... I wouldn't say she has the sight, but she has a certain intuition. And a funny knack for turning up interesting things.
Interesting. So the jar that you've seen, the jar that's missing, do you have any memories of what it was related to when you were at Rose House?
No, I think they stored others there. Maybe a cellar, like a wine cellar. I don't know.
Interesting. Perhaps it does contain some valuable alcohol that perhaps would explain the value put on it. And you saw the apartment. Are you certain it's not just been misplaced? Could have been under a different dog or something along those lines.
She has a unique filing system, but
I'd say.
But Georgie's normally such a happy little dog, and he was so frightened. And why would you break in there if not to take something? And that door had been forced. If she says they're missing, I am inclined to believe her.
If the door had been forced, it does mean that somebody had gotten past the main door, though, which is unusual, don't you think?
I suppose. But perhaps if one was sufficiently motivated, had a bit of planning time, and if they knew what they were looking for.
That's true. Looking around, I didn't see anything of particular value to anybody. But I'm sure a collector like yourself, though, with other things there that could have been taken that might have been valuable.
Yes. I mean, jewellery, for one thing. Jewels as well as earthenware, not easily accessible, but... And I imagine, knowing Gertie, she does like to inspect her treasures, that if she'd gone to the auction thinking that she was going to secure another bottle, then she might have the others out.
Yes, that makes sense. That they'd be prominent, and if you were to walk into that room, I think clay jars would probably be the last thing on my mind if I was looking to come away with a score that wasn't specific. So, yes, you're right. They clearly knew exactly what they were looking for, if it has indeed been taken. Now, this strange world of collecting things and auctions and clay pots and wooden knickknacks, how competitive does this get? Are we talking? Do people get murdered over these things? Like, what kind of world is it you run in, Timothy?
I don't think murdered. I mean, part of the reason why my field is so underfunded is that compared to the people who are off, robbing tombs in Egypt and stealing from other cultures and destroying what's the word I'm looking for? Not the heritage, like the provenance of these artifacts. These have no value other than of themselves. That's what they can tell us about our history and about our world, our country.
Oh yes, you did mention they were British made, didn't you?
Yeah. They don't. Honestly, the break-in is bad enough. To think of murder, my colleagues, my friends, no.
Just wanted to make sure what level we're going in here. They said they were British made. I've seen some of the finest cutlery at some of the greatest tables in the nation, where I get often invited to. And they looked a lot better than a clay pot. How old is this thing we're talking about here? 1,000, 2,000 years old?
Possibly Middle Ages. Possibly around the 14th century, but they're... For some of the materials, for some of the items with more mystical significance, of kind of more mystical input, occasionally if things were broken they'd be ground down, reused, made and mended. The pots themselves might only be 500 years old, 600. The things, the soil that made them would be much older, and the techniques as well.
So it's not a modern piece then?
No. Not ancient, like some things, but not modern.
And this George something? Gareth something? Is he someone you know in your circles?
His name's Gareth Vine.
Vines.
Yeah.
And has he got a history of taking things, perhaps, or acquiring items that maybe he shouldn't have got his hands on?
No, by all means, him and Gertie should be best friends. There was a while when I thought perhaps they'd give it up and get married and merge their collections and live happily ever after, but apparently that is not to be.
No, not by judging by Gertie's tirade.
Timothy ships it.
But maybe we can stare a little romance there. I don't know. It seems unlikely.
Secondary objective unlocked.
He's what was the question I'm going to ask about him? About the jars? Yeah, he's a collector of similar types of things that you are interested in. Do you have any specialist area?
No, not that I can think of. He's interested in parts of Wales and Cornwall, but no.
Not a city man then.
No, I think it's odd now that you mention it, but I think he misses the bustle.
Of Wales?
No, of London. If you were
Oh, I see. That makes more sense.
And you can tell from Timothy's face that he misses the peace and quiet of literally anywhere.
Countryside.
Nick's vicinity.
Cool. So, well, best we get to go and see this Gareth character then.
Timothy checks his watch and then goes, "Oh, fine. Let's go."
I mean, you brought me onto this, Timothy.
I know. I don't know what I thought you'd be able to do. Come on, let's go.
I can do remarkable things. Just I need to meet all the parties for the very least.
Yes, you're very remarkable. Very remarkable. On we go.
Being a bit ungrateful right now. So yes, I will follow Timothy to Gareth's house. There we go.
Gareth's apartment.
Gareth's. Any jimmy locks on the way?
No, the door will show you in. Well, actually, you'll knock and there'll be somebody fixing the door.
Ah, okay. Problem with the door?
Who are you?
I didn't prepare a lie. I am a good friend of Mr. Vines here, and I am concerned for his safety if you're not keeping this building up to scratch.
Wait, no, it's Gareth that you're talking to.
Oh, is it? Oh, sorry. I thought you said that there was a doorman at the main door.
No, doorman's let you in.
Oh,
Right. Him, you're fine. On you go. Somebody's fixing Mr. Vine's door. And I thought you decided that Timothy was called Tim Vine.
Oh no. Just lying to Gareth so hard to convince him that I'm a good friend of his.
I'm your best friend.
I am investigating a recent spate of crimes in the area, and I notice you're having trouble with your door. Is anything the matter? Anything happened recently?
And he kind of stares at you and he says, "Something happened? You must be joking."
Do I look like a joking man to you, Gareth?
Don't know what you look like.
You may question why I know your name. The doorman told me on the way. Door-to-door lock inspector who's come to check on your door.
Just checking your door's still a door. It isn't a mimic.
But what it isn't is a jar. Speaking of jars, Gareth. What is this? As you can clearly see, not a joking matter. What is it that has happened? Do tell.
I am waiting for that woman to apologise to me. I don't know who she sent, I don't know how she did it, but she has stolen from me and it is unacceptable.
Which woman is this?
Gertrude.
I gotta say, I really appreciate Gertrude versus Gertie. Using your full name, you're in trouble. She is she is some sort of master criminal. She's crept in through your window or kicked down your door.
Somebody has. Timothy, do you know about this? I thought she'd sent you to apologise.
Apologise to the man, Timothy.
I'm sorry.
Now, what is he sorry for, Gareth? What exactly has... I can see your door is in trouble, but what exactly has happened here?
Come in.
Very well. Can I get a quick one-see at him fixing the door as we go in? Does it look similar to the door situation in the...
Yeah, he's not the one fixing it. There's a handyman, like a building
okay.
Maintenance person. Cool. So he'll sort of wave you past.
Mm-hmm.
And you go.
Can I inspect the lock and good work there? Make sure you fix that bit as well. But I just want to kind of keep an eye on it to see whether or not it looks like it's being broken in the same way.
Do you want to do an investigation check?
Investigation, like a new investigation. That's pretty good. That is 7. More dice than we have. Oh, we have to have an extra dice. There we go. So a 6 is success.
Yes.
Ah, 2 successes, including the new dice.
So you can see that it has indeed been broken.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly more recently than Gertie's, because Gertie's has already been fixed.
Okay, that's useful to know. Recently broken, and yeah, we'll condescendingly pat the man on the shoulder and be like, "Keep it up. You've almost got it fixed."
And he'll sort of like, he's probably got like nails in his mouth, and he'll just sort of like carry it.
What a rude man. Yeah, we'll go in. Is Gareth's apartment the same as Gertie's in terms of it being?
I want you to imagine a mirror image.
Boo. This again. Any of these contain dogs?
Disgusting creatures. I would never keep a dog.
Well, I mean, they're not that bad, but at least I can sit down in safety on this chair.
Make me a observation check.
That is 7 again. There we go. Crazy. 1 success, 2 successes if you include that one.
Oh, 3 successes.
3 successes even, yeah. Okay, that is rolling first. Making sure got 2 6s in a row.
Yeah, so what you'll think is a pillow will sit up and hiss at you and then run away.
Snakes.
Not a
I
snake.
hate
Not
killing
a
snakes.
snake. Come on now. Work with me. The cat will hiss at you and run away into the bedroom.
Oh, delightful creatures. and try and put some sort of pillow or barrier between where the cat has been sleeping and where he's going to sit down.
And make me another observation check.
Look at all the wonderful shedding he's doing. No successes.
So you miss Timothy giving a little worried look after the cat.
Okay. So yes, we'll sit down and listen to Gareth's tale. Do tell, Gareth, of what has happened.
I do not like to speculate on the mental health of others, but she is clearly unwell.
How so?
What? She stole my property, and if she returns it, we will say no more about it. I'm not one to hold a grudge, even when it is richly deserved. Somebody came in. I had a fine collection of rare bottles, and they were stolen. It wasn't enough that I was beaten in the auction. She had to come and take the one thing that I had for her precious collection.
You had a full collection of the bottles, did you say?
No, I make me another observation check or an empathy check.
This observation, yeah, here we go. That is 5. No, lots of ones.
No, so he'll tear up
Okie dokie.
and he'll say, I had one, but it was a fine specimen, a rare example, and I was hoping for a second. Cursed the day I went to that auction. Showed my hand.
So you had one bottle, and it has been taken in a robbery. And you lost the other one at the auction, did you say?
Yes, I can only imagine that she was driven to madness, knowing that there was one bottle that was not in her greedy, conniving clutches, and sought to acquire it.
Who did you lose out to at the auction?
Well, it must have been her.
Was this one of the classic, elaborate, ancient houseware blind auctions that are so famed across London?
So you would know that even in the more well-to-do auctions, it is not uncommon for people to send others to bid on their behalf.
Oh, okay. Would it surprise you to know, Gareth, that Gertie's house has been broken into? And that her jar, she said she had 3, right? Out of the 4. He's got 1 out of the 4. So where's this? There's a 5th one?
I may have miscounted.
Okay.
We'll say that she's got 2.
Oh, no worries.
3.
I thought it was a clue.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's alright.
It was really bad maths. I was like, there's supposed to be 5.
So you had 1, she had 2, and there was 1 remaining for auction. And she thinks that you won it in the auction. and you think that she won it in the auction. And yours has been stolen, and hers has been stolen.
I can't believe that she would steal her own witch bottles.
Witch bottles?
Well, that is what I believe they are.
Which bottle is that?
So he is looking at you in pure outrage. These are his most treasured possessions.
Yeah.
And not only are you not listening to his spiel about what they are, which would have been most edifying. Taking little jokey jokes. And Timothy's there like, this is my career. I have to work with these people.
And I thought the waves in Scotland were bad. So yes, tell me, what's a witch bottle when it's at home?
It is an old legend.
Happen to like those.
So do I. And he'll kind of brighten the first bit. He'll say, it's not a particularly nice legend. In the old days, when witches and wizards and warlocks moved more freely about, they would sometimes cause trouble. They'd be burning was the usual thing, but they might be drowned or ducked or God knows what else, but they were still powerful even though they were dead, and there was a fear that they could come back to life. So were one to have all of the witch bottles, one might possess the essence of magic of the witch or wizard or warlock that survived beyond death. Of course, it's only a legend, but the effort to go through to make such finely matched items, in the days we didn't have mass production like we do now, there were no factories. They're rare and they're interesting, and they should have been mine.
Nicholas will take on a very serious kind of air, perhaps for the first time. Like, Mr. Vines, were you trying to embalm yourself with the power of the witch and or wizard?
I collect pottery. This was just unique pottery, that is all.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, it seems that one of two things has happened. You have been duped by a third party at the bidding, at the auction, as it's often called. And somebody has been into both of yours and Gertrude's home and stolen the remaining bottles. So now that somebody out there has the full collection of what could potentially contain the essence of magic itself. Or, what is potentially more likely, you and Gertie have both committed identical crimes to each other at the exact same time. Now tell me, Gareth, am I on the money here?
I will not listen to this slander. Get out of my house. Timothy, I had thought better of you. Out.
I'll take that as a no, Gareth, thank you. And yeah, I guess we'll forcibly make his way back onto the streets.
Yeah, so you'll step out into the evening.
Mm-hmm.
And we will find out whether or not there have been identical crimes committed, or whether or not there is some other evil plot afoot.
I think I know the answer.
It was Timothy. During the next session.
Yes.
Thank you very much for playing.
Thank you so much for running. I enjoyed a little jog around the city with Nicholas.
I mean, it was one very small square of the city, but we'll see. There's more places to go. Thanks to everyone for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it so far.
Stay tuned for the next part.
Yes, hopefully it will be up shortly. Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye-bye.